you're there. I love to have these virtual visits with you. So, Bodhi, go ahead and tell them how they can do that.
Absolutely. Well, welcome everybody. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Claire's Patreon, and we love getting your comments and questions. In order to comment, you have to have a profile or an account on whatever platform you're viewing us on. So if it's YouTube, you have to have a YouTube channel, aka account. If it's Facebook or any of the others, you have to have a profile. So wherever you're watching, we love hearing your comments. And if you have any technical questions at any point, reach out to me with a direct message or a comment down below, and I will be checking those out and I'll try to help you. And then, as far as any questions for Claire or any comments, please put them in the chat wherever you are, and I will be looking for those. And whenever you hear the ding, that means I'm going to be reading your comments to her so she can respond. And yeah, check out her Patreon, by the way. You can join for free. It is patreon.com/Clare Cooley. We put all of the live streams up and a whole bunch of other content, including her stencil designs. There are currently 18 of these stencil designs up, and you get all of them included with your membership at no additional charge. And that's forever. And she's going to be putting out more stencils soon. Then I wanted to congratulate her on celebrating the second edition of her memoir, Incandescence, Rising Above Darkness, with new cover art and some additions to the interior of the book. Congratulations, Mom. And if you guys want to check that out, it is linked in the description of this video, both the Patreon and the YouTube. And thank you so much. And let us know if you're new to the stream, where you're tuning in from. We love to say hi to new viewers and returning viewers. And thank you guys so much for being here. All right, back to you, Mom.
All righty. Well, I wanted to say there's a little improvement, refinement in the cover, but it's not new cover art. We just rearranged the words a bit. So minor changes. So wanted to clarify that. Same art on the cover of the book. Well, today I'm going to continue with this series I'm calling the Movable Mural, thanks to Sue Spencer for suggesting I do a mural. So I found a place in my home, which is the back stairs, that needed some love and story and art and mystery and magic. And so these 7 scroll paintings will go down the stairs, and they will tell a story of the 4 seasons: winter, autumn, summer, spring. And they will have animals that for me represent the 4 seasons, local wildlife, and they will have mountains into waterfall, into hills, into meadow, into pond. So it's landscape, seasons, animals. And before we do that, in front of you, I'm going to ask Bodhi to show the 4 seasons horizontal piece I did, and then the 4 seasons vertical 4 scrolls. The horizontal is 1 piece, and it's a quick time lapse, and so are the 4 seasons in vertical scrolls. And this quarter round giclée paper monofilament to hold it up is the most frugal, fast, economical way you can make art that you could hang anywhere you have something to hang it from, a little nail, a hook, whatever. So I like to show fast, frugal, fun, fabulous, creative ideas that anybody can do. And so before we go into this painting in front of you live, let's show the horizontal first and then the vertical second.
Okay, here we go. One moment.
An art project I'm calling Essence of Everything is a painting, an art project I'm calling Essence of Everything, which of course is very which of course, even the word ambitious is ambitious. It's hard to say. Let's do this. I hope that seeing the joy that I get creating inspires you to follow your creative urges. And if there's anything that makes me as happy as creating, it's knowing that I'm helping other people have greater access to their imaginations, their courage to express it, and their confidence to share it with others. My artistic challenge is to combine the 4 seasons, 4 elements: air, water, earth, and fire, winter, spring, summer, and autumn, midnight, dawn, midday, dusk, snow, rain, rainbow, lightning, blue, green, yellow, and red, the 4 primary colors, the 4 metals: silver, bronze, gold, copper. All of this in one artistic visual representation without losing the grace, the natural harmony. So that's my challenge to myself. It also has 4 botanicals. It's watercolor, it's sumi ink, it's also got some acrylic paints and the metallic paints, as well as the colored pencil. So I'm combining all of these things. So this drafting table that I've expanded to be wide enough for this 57-inch wide painting with foam core. So during the painting part, with watercolor and the water running, I can do it flat. Yes, the whole thing can rotate and go up and down, as well as flat or angle. I try to have everything in my life have multi-purposes and be easy to transform. So here's our green screen for some video work we're doing. So here is my pencils. I love having all these colors. This makes me feel rich. Just have all these colors to work with. I feel like a wealthy person. Here is a tray of my colors, and here's the number on the top of each container corresponding to my little color strip here. So until next time, stay creative and enjoy.
All right, fantastic. That was fun. I'm going to show on the screen the finished landscape that she was working on. And then while we're looking at that, we're gonna fix her microphone. Talk.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right, the microphone is fixed.
Excellent. All right, so now that first horizontal 4 seasons was a test, and then I moved on to the 4 vertical, and I heard the Tibetan bell.
Meg Litz said all the layers. Fascinating. On
Thank you
Facebook.
very much. Meg. Nice that you're here. I love to know you're here. Okay.
Would you like to see the video of the 4 vertical landscapes?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, I will play that momentarily. And this is on the Creativity Show YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, you're missing out. So go subscribe to Clare Cooley. Her channel is The Creativity Show.
Hi, I'm Clare Cooley, and this is The Creativity Show. This piece of art is called Essence of Everything. It's inspired by the 4 seasons. It's mixed media, colored pencils, acrylic paints, sometimes metallic inks. Links to all these materials are in the description. I also did a video on how to make these scroll frame painting materials, a fun, fast, frugal way to create art you can hang on your walls. It is inspired by the 4 seasons. This quadriptych represents winter, spring, summer, and autumn. Each season has its own primary color, metal, botanical, element, and feeling. Winter is blue, silver, evergreen, and air and contemplation. Spring is green, bronze, flowers, water, and renewal. Summer is yellow, gold, grasses, earth, and repose. Autumn is red, copper, maple leaf, and transformation. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and tell a friend.
The day is getting on. The market traders pack away their way. The hours been and gone. I listen for your footfall on the stair. I'll never hear your voice. Call up to me again. And love is an addiction that makes beggars of us all. And I shall take whatever comes my way. A glimmer in the dark attracts my restless eye. A throwaway remark. Your love is like the leaves upon the tree. Someday those leaves will fall. Then winter comes to stay. And love is an addiction that makes beggars of us all. And I shall take whatever comes my way. And I saw my old blue coat today. But the consequence, it's not going anywhere. Like me, it's here to stay. I love you like the rain. A million flakes of snow melt too fast. The cross ties on the rail. You left me like some cold and distant star. I'll never feel your warmth.
You can get my stencil designs to use for your art projects. There are 10 on my Patreon now and lots more coming. You can buy them for $3 a piece, or when you become a member for just $5 a month, you'll get all of them for free. There's no commitment and you can cancel anytime. Check it out on patreon.com/Clare Cooley.
All right then.
All right. Did you show the photograph of the done for seasons scroll?
I will do that
Verticals.
right now. So here is the photograph of those 4 scrolls done in that corner. We will pull up another photo in a second here that shows it in a different lighting. There you go.
Okay.
There they are, two of them on top of the other 2.
Okay.
And that's that in process.
All right. So now we're going to be moving on to the 7 down the stairs is where they're going to be hung, movable mural. If I choose to divide them or hang them somewhere else, it's easy that way. Yes, I heard the Tibetan bell.
Meg Litz on Facebook said, "You are so generous to share your process, practice, philosophy, and materials. So powerful to see them all together."
Thank you so much. It's my joy, and it's deeply fulfilling to share what gives me happiness, what has helped heal me, and still does. Besides the sense of purpose I get from doing the art, it is deeply gratifying to share with others this resource we all have, an imagination, we all have creativity. And the more we expand our own creative confidence and the more we experiment and give ourselves permission to just enjoy the process, the more we increase our resourcefulness. And the more we share it with others and combine our compassionate creativity, the better the challenges we all have in this world, the better we can address them. And so every one of us has a unique story, perspective, wisdom, information. And so my mission is to hopefully inspire others to share their stories, their perspective, what they've learned through their life, what's helped them. So we're all in this together, and I love sharing what's helped me, which is creative expression and feeling replenished by nature and representing us living in balance with nature. So the next thing we're going to do here is I'm going to show you how I started visual art with Sumi brushstroke as a meditation. So before I show you how I mix the ink in the Suzuri, the Sumi ink in the Suzuri stone in the traditional way, I'm going to do what I like to do before I do a creative project, which is what I call floga. And so it's very simple, and whatever whatever level you're at doesn't matter. We all, unless, even if you're in a chair or in a wheelchair, there is some movement, and no matter what movement we have, we can increase the flow even by our attitude and breath, but let's move our bodies. So I like to start on the ground, wiggle my toes, and then go up in my arches, and then bend my ankles, and then vibrate into my shins and calves, and then move my knees in gentle circular, and then go up into my thighs and move them, and then into my hips and my belly, and rotate in both directions, and then into my rib cage, and forward and back and side to side, and circles, and then into my shoulders and back, and any way you want to move them, bounce them, just get the energy in there. And then my upper arms, elbows, lower arms, wrists, hands, fingers, and go back up to my neck, and then my head, gentle, and then let the energy go back down the body into the ground. Now, with that little bit of flow gut, doesn't take much, I'm going to come down here and sit the way I learned through watching the traditional way.
I'll get the camera zoomed in on you.
So the traditional way is you can have a pad under you. You can do this standing, and I'm going to do some of the sumi brush work up at my drawing table, but I like to show you mixing the sumi ink with a little bit of water in this reservoir, and it's a really meditative, long, narrow circles. You draw the water up, and it makes this smooth, velvety black. And the further you get from the water, the blacker the ink, so that when you paint, you want the blackest, you pick it up here. You want the medium tone, pick it up in the middle. You want the grayer, softer, you pick it up in the water reservoir. So you can mix this as long as you want, depending on the depth of black you want. And then whichever place you pick it up, and I'm going to work up there, so I'm just going to use a dry brush. The thing that I found so hypnotic, magical about sumi brushstroke was the breathing through the stroke. So as we exhale, we can have a very graceful stroke. And the first sumi brush study I did was 5 blades of grass that I saw in a book, traditional. I think they teach 4-year-olds in Japan. So I didn't get to it till my 20s. And I haven't done it in many years, but I'm going to do it in front of you for the first time in many years, because we're always learning. And if we enjoy learning, then there's only gain, there's no failure. So the 5 blades of grass, one was curving, one was going straight up, one was a short little. As I remember, all 5 blades had their own feeling. And so that's as simple as it can be to get started. And now I'm going to ask Bodhi to show you the organizational system. There's over 60 colors and over 100 brushes on this 12 by 12 inch piece of particle board. And it's actually a pizza tray that I turned into my watercolor organizer. So go ahead and show them that quick little video while I get set up here to show some live sumi.
All right, I will get that going in one moment.
Perfect.
All right, let me grab that video. Our video.
So here it is, how
There's the video. I believe we can still hear you.
okay. So yeah, so I decided to use this pizza tray to organize over 60 colors of watercolor paints and over 100 brushes in this one 12 by 12 inch area that fits in my creativity cabinet. I use this black elastic so that nothing can fall apart when I move it back to the cabinet off of the stool or onto a table wherever I want to work. And it's black elastic so that I can take the whichever color tray I want, whichever palette of color I want to take out of here. The black elastic just stretches and lets me take it out, put it back in without anything falling apart.
Do you want people to screen?
Pardon me?
I was asking if you wanted them to see what you're doing.
I still didn't hear that.
I was asking, do you want them to see what you were just doing?
No, that's fine. They understand. Yes. Heard the
Meg
bell?
Litt said on Facebook, kudos to you and Bodhi for creating a dynamic, seamless presentation of all elements of your process. Brilliant.
Thank you so much, Meg. Really appreciate it. It's it's happy making to share what makes us happy, and it increases our happiness. Medically proven giving, and so trying to share my inspiration and what I've learned over the years creating, it actually gives us more endorphins to give than to receive. So giving my energy to hope to inspire you to get more connected to your imagination and give yourself permission to express it creatively and enhance your life and heal yourself by expressing emotions, stimulating our immune system. Feelings initiate thoughts, which make us smarter. So healing, intelligence enhancing, resourcefulness increasing, just plain old fun. And I like to wear some of the jewelry I've made and some of the stencil clothing I've made to show that we can use our creativity to enhance our wardrobe, our accessories, our home, our walls. We can write, we can dance, we can make music. There's so many ways creativity is life enhancing. So let's go back to the 7 scroll. The first one, I'm going to start at the top and go down. So
And
it's going to be
quick on YouTube. MM Pro said, "Love, love, love."
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for being here and sending your love. We feel it. So the winter scroll is going to have a moose. So what I decided with these 7, I always like to do something I've never done before. Whenever I do a new creative project, challenge myself and go on a journey someplace I've never been. So I'm adding creatures that I've never done to these 7 scrolls. I've done lots of birds. My first published work was the Book of Cranes, where I painted all 15 species. I've done a series of warblers and wildflowers, 26 different regional warblers. I've done a lot of birds and creatures, but never done a moose. So here's my first moose drawing. Is that in the right place to see it well? Can you hear me?
Looks good.
Okay. So that's the first moose drawing, and I decided to then reduce it. so there's the second reduction. And for me, that was still too big for the scale I wanted, so I reduced it once more. And then I used this, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Underneath this giclée paper, and you can see the form come through, and I used it with the Sumi paint as the form to paint this little moose. Can you see the moose there? Bo? I don't know why your voice goes in and out, but maybe you should just leave the door open, because sometimes you come through the computer and sometimes you don't.
Right, I'm letting you go now. So do you...
Can you see the moose? I can't really see it across there.
Right. Yeah, the camera's not very... The laptop's not very close. Yes, I can see the moose.
Okay, so there's the reduced version, and there's what I used. Now I put a piece of plastic behind this because it is Sumi ink and you don't want it to go through onto your table or your floor, wherever you're working. So there's these.
It would be nice if you could move this, depending on where you're...
You can take that end with the plastic and the... Go a little bit further that way. Do you want to move the whole table? Because we can do...
Yeah, what I was thinking.
Okay. Let me move the stool because it's got...
That's good enough now.
Okay.
So if you look at the screen, I'm going to make it bigger, but if you put your hand, you
Yeah.
get an idea.
Okay. Yeah, it just looks white from with that all that white curtain behind it. Okay. Now we're going to pick the right brush, which I'm going to start with a very little one. And I'm just going to put some mountains in it without... This is my test piece. And like I said, I haven't done Sumi in quite a while. So I am going to have fun testing this material. I'm going to move this out of the way, and you're going to see how simple that is on top of a stool that has felt footies underneath it. And that way I can reach everywhere. So I'm going to take a little bit of the Sumi ink, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to do a little mountaintop. And this is winter, so where it disappears is where there's snow. And then I'm going to take a little water and just get a little... The further away things are, the less color or intensity of the tone. The closer, the more. So now, because there's mountain snow, it's very kind of random. And snow does not stick everywhere necessarily. There will be some rocks that the snow can't stick on. And the closer they are to us, the more black we'll see in those rocks. One of the things I love about Sumi is I'm kind of a minimalist by my aesthetic. What I'm attracted to in art is quite often minimalism. Yes.
Meg Litz said, "This is very exciting, and the moose has a very special place in my life."
Nice. Let's hear your moose story. I'd love to hear how the moose is special to you. I'd never done a moose before, and I'm very, very excited to...
Tell us about why the moose is important to you. I put that in the comments. So just a quick reminder for any of the people tuning in, we're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, LinkedIn, and Clare Cooley's Patreon, patreon.com/Clare Cooley. If I missed any of the comments or questions, I'm going to try to find them now, and I will read them to her out loud. Thank you all for tuning in, and Sumi is really coming together. Wow, it's impressive. We're capturing it really well too. I think this is working great.
All righty. So there we go. There's some Moose in the Mountains. We'll name this piece. Yes.
So Meg Litz on Facebook said, "A moose once saved my life."
Wow. I need to hear that. How did that happen?
Yeah, and this is one of your first moose experiences as an artist, right?
This is my very first moose. And in fact, I had to change my first drawing of a moose. I imagined the tail because the pictures that I saw didn't show the moose's booty and tail. So I imagined it completely wrong, and I had to look up moose butt to see what a moose's booty really looked like. And it's just a short little tiny tail. So is Meg willing to share her how a moose saved her life story?
Well, I won't put you on the spot, Meg. Maybe she's driving or working or something. You never know. So, but
well,
if
anyhow,
you can share your story, we'd love to hear it. A lot of people have dangerous run-ins with a moose, so that's wonderful to hear the other side of the coin. They're big. They're big, formidable animals. That's for sure. And you've really captured the simple grace.
I'm going to put in a tree just because I have the urge to. And like I said, this is an experiment using Sumi again. So I'm going to put in a tree right here. And I need to mix some more of the Sumi ink on the Suzuri to get some more black. And this giclée paper is very absorbent, like rice paper, which is often how Sumi ink is used with rice paper. And it really absorbs the water, the ink, and spreads. It's very responsive. All right. Now we need another little tree right here. We need it. We don't just want it. Well, actually, we want it and we need it. And then we're going to have another little one right there. Even a smaller one. And now we're going to do what I try to always do, which is give it a rest, step back for perspective, and come back to it later. What I often do is hang my art, walk away, and come back and see it without thinking about it from a different point of view. And there's another scroll on here, so I'm going to put that on there. So instead of overdoing it, I have learned over the years that doing art is intoxicating, and I get into it. And as my mother, who was trained at a fine art school attached to the museum in Boston and worked in studios, and I'm self-taught, and she encouraged me to just do my own thing and enjoy it. And she said to me, I never saw another artist like you. That most artists overdo their work, and that's because they keep going, and I want to because it's fun, but I know better to walk away now and do something else. And then when I come back in the room, not even thinking about it, I'll see it and go, oh, that's what it needs next. So perspective breaks, I call them, are extremely important. And so now we're going to take a perspective break. And on Thursday, my next live stream, noon on Thursday, every Monday and Thursday at noon, I'm going to do the next panel. I'm going to finish this one probably between now and then, or maybe in front of the camera on Thursday, and start the next panel, which will have a wolf in it. And each of these creatures, the moose, wolf, stag, fox, bunny, turtle, fish, and an owl, an egret, a heron, a crane, will all be offered in my stencil designs free to my Patreon members. Yes?
Meg Litt's story.
Great.
My mother used to collect moose. They are such majestic creatures. And once, traveling back to Duluth from Fargo quite late at night, I came over a rise and there was a gigantic bull moose in the middle of my lane.
Go ahead. It's echoing.
I was able to stop in time, and he was in no rush to move, just kept walking slowly, and respecting him, I waited, going very slowly. Also, once he started, excuse me, also, once he started down the road. When he finally left the road, I thanked him and Creator, then went on my way. Just a mile later, I was diverted on an emergency detour. There had been a horrendous fatal accident just moments before on the main road. Had that moose not been there and stopped me, I would likely have been in the path. Wow.
That's really, I got chills all over, Meg. That is a beautiful story.
It is.
And very, very moving. And thank you so much for sharing that. That really is lovely. And moose on the mountain, we're going to dedicate to that moose who most likely saved your life. Thank you. And you also participated in that by stopping to enjoy his presence. So thank you for doing that, seeing the beauty in nature and protecting yourself and him, the moose. And thank you to the moose for protecting you. Very nice. So Thursday, we'll continue or finish this and show you the finished, and then we'll continue, and we're going to move on to wolf, stag, fox, bunny, turtle, fish, and I'm really enjoying trying new things and renewing my comfort and familiarity with Sumi brushstroke. It has been nearly half a century since I've painted with Sumi, so it's pretty exciting and very renewing to do it again. So thanks for being here, and we'll see you next Thursday, this coming Thursday at noon, and every Monday and Thursday. And please tell your friends, and if they can't be here at noon, which sometimes we can't, they can see these later on the Creativity Show YouTube channel. But we love it when you're here and you join in, and we get these virtual visits while we're walking lightly on the planet, visiting virtually. Okay, thank you for your help, Bodhi. Anything else you want to say before we sign off today?
Happy to help, and thank you everyone who commented. Thank you, Meg, for sharing your wonderful story. And if I missed any comments on any of the platforms, I'll make sure that I read them to her between now and Thursday, and we'll get back to you. Thanks everyone for being here.